Hello and welcome to my vlog. Today we're going to talk about transmission of spiritual power. Spirits create by thought. God created the spirit and physical universes by thought. High spirits carried on the work of God by forming solar systems, planets, and life on Earth. How does thought transform into concrete action? How does an idea guide a planet or change the destiny of a single human? Zabdial presents how the spark of an idea affects matter in a chapter titled The Science of Heaven. Zabdial is a spirit who sent a stream of communications to the Reverend G. Val Owen from November 3, 1913 to January 8, 1914. All were published in a book, which was first serialized in the English papers in the 1920s. Ultimately, a book was published, The Life Beyond the Veil, which was a compilation of 4 previously published books. The messages from Zabdial are found in Book 2, titled The Highlands of Heaven. Energy equals universal fluid. First, Zabdial defines what he means by the use of the word energy. Energy, as I now employ the word, is to be understood as that intermediary which couples up the motion of will with the effect as displayed in the minds of men. We here are trained this end that we may, by the motion of our wills, transmit, by what we may call vibration, our thoughts through the intervening spheres or states into the earth plane. It is this movement in vibration which I call energy. The spirit universe rests upon a cosmic energy platform called, by Spiritism, universal fluid. From this flows all forms of matter. The will of a spirit is able to modify the vibrational states and structure of universal fluid. Zabdial explains further. When I use the term vibration, I do not merely speak of oscillation to and fro alone, but of movements which are sometimes elliptical, sometimes spiral, and sometimes a combination of these and other qualities. Allan Kardec, in the Spirits book, supplies the definition of matter. Matter is the element which enchains spirit, the instrument which serves it, and upon which, at the same time, it exerts its action. Hence, the force of a mind of a spirit controls and directs matter, and that which facilitates the command of matter by a spirit is universal fluid or energy, as Zabdial defines it. Allan Kardec places universal fluid in the same context as Zabdial when he reported that spirits told him, "The material element must be added to the universal fluid, which plays the intermediary between spirit and matter, the nature of the latter being too gross for spirit to be able to act directly upon it, although from another point of view, this fluid may be classed as forming part of the material element. It is, nevertheless, distinguished from that element by certain special properties of its own. It is intermediary between spirit and matter, under the directing action of spirit, to produce the infinite variety of things which you know as yet but a very small portion. This universal, primitive, or elementary fluid, being the agent employed by spirit in acting upon matter, is the principle without matter would remain forever in a state of division, and would never acquire the properties given to it by the state of ponderability. Ponderability being a state upon which matter rests as directed by the thoughts of a spirit, although, as our science understands today, matter is never at rest. It is constantly in motion, vibrating, but to our eyes it holds a constant form and is endowed with certain physical characteristics. Our current level of scientific discovery would agree with Zabdial when he states, "From this point of view, the atomic system of vibration, which has of late been revealed to men of science, is to us one with the movement of the planets of this solar sphere and of other systems far away in space. The motion of Earth round the Sun, the motion of the molecules of the atoms are vibrations. It matters not by which degree you measure them, or what the diameter of the orbit. They are one of a kind, and in degree only do they differ from each other." Picture a rectangular piece of wood. Unseen by our sight, it is a mass of vibrating atoms and molecules. To us, it has weight and it is dense. It is wood and it is square because of the motions within the composition of the universal fluid that directs it. Now, picture what would happen if the atomic elements were commanded to vibrate more rapidly, to alter their shape. The rectangle would no longer be a rectangle, and the wood would transform into another substance. As water changes to steam when heated, matter changes when the energy directed at it by the thoughts of a spirit into something slightly or radically different from whence it began. Zabdiel explains what matter really is. Matter itself is the result of the transmutation of spiritual vibration into those of the grosser sort, and these later are now being analyzed by scientists who have come to the knowledge that matter is indeed the result of vibration, and that no article of matter is still, but in ceaseless movement. That is correct, but not conclusive, for it does not pursue the matter to the end of it. It were truer to say, not that matter is in vibration, but that matter is vibration, the results of vibration of a quality more refined, which is found not in the phenomena of material things, but in those spheres proper to its quality. Hence, matter is material waiting to be transformed by spiritual directed energy. Zabdiel describes the process of the alteration. But transmutation brings into any such system a change of movement, and the quality of movement being changed, there is also, and of necessity, a change of result. Thus we, acting always in perfect obedience to laws laid down by those higher and wiser than ourselves, concentrate our wills on the movement of certain vibrations, which become deflected and transmuted into other qualities of vibration, and thus change is wrought. This modification is usually accomplished gradually and deliberately, step by step, until the desired end state is attained. Matter in one state is now in another state. Intention. From the beginning of slight alterations, brought on by the intended plan of a spirit or a group of spirits, all is created and guided. Zabdiel tells us that from this one process, this singular talent for focusing energy on an object and transforming it, all else follows. It is by this method that we deal with the actions of men and the course of nature in all of its parts. There are manifold classes and companies who have in charge the various departments of creation, mineral, vegetable, animal, human, terrestrial, solar, and stellar. Beyond this, also, the stars are grouped together and dealt with by hierarchies qualified for that great task. It is by this same method, then, of the transmutation of energy that systems are gradually developed into worlds, and these worlds furnished with form, and then enabled to produce vegetation and animal life. But, this being so, you will note that all life and all development is consequent on the operation of spiritual energy, obeying the dictates of the will of spiritual beings. This once grasped, blind force disappears, and intention takes its place, intention of intelligent and powerful spiritual workers of various grades operating according to certain fixed laws, but within the bounds of laws free and mighty. Hence, look up at the night sky and see not random stars built within the confines of the chaotic motion of matter spawned by the Big Bang. Instead, see creation as planned, creation as willed by high lords and carried out by a phalanx of lesser spirits. Everything we live upon and are, to the very curvature of our skull and the capabilities of our sight, has been carefully planned. We are the direct result of deliberate objectives directed from on high. Our lives, in the same manner in which our physical form was molded, are guided by the desires of spirits, who may include ourselves while in the spirit world, in the trials and obstacles we face on earth. Always with our free will intact, to make choices and to suffer, either gladly or with remorse, the lessons offered to us so we too may be part of the cohort of spirits managing all life in the universe. The knowledge that we live in a world of malleable clay, which alters form and structure upon command, should give us strength, inner fortitude to understand that the vicissitudes of our life are all to a purpose. Everything we experience is not without meaning, for all is aimed with love and kindness. Worlds, nations, and races are born, forged by heat, and deteriorate, all for a designed cause. Zabdiel reinforces this point. Thus you will see how little it matters that, when the time comes for you to cast off the body of earth, you stand discarnate. Your earth body was a body of vibrations and no more. Very well, you now have a body of vibrations, more substantial and enduring, because of a higher quality and nearer to the energizing will, which brought it into existence and so sustains it. That body will serve you while you sojourn in the lower spheres, and, when you have progress, that body will be transmuted into one still more permanent, and of quality more sublime. This process will be repeated as the ages go by, and you proceed from glory to higher glory in the infinite reaches of progress before you. We are on earth for a short period in disposable suits, designed to enhance our educational opportunities. Make the most of what comes our way and learn what is presented. Only by suffering through the stressful days and putting the good days in perspective can we cultivate the calm and wisdom to ascend. If you'd like to learn more about spirits and what you will be when you return to the spirit realm, read my book, Spirits and the Spirit Universe. It is book 2 of a series of 3 books, which will open to you the curtain beyond our physical life and into the spirit life and the spirit world and how it works. God bless.